Hey guys, so we're back. Conversations with Pastor. This was an idea that I had to get some people in view with me and to have some conversations with people, have a little bit of fun. Matthew Norris, our associate pastor, who's been behind the scenes guy this whole time, he's the man here. Here he is.
I'm here.
Yeah, he's the man. He's the man. The delay is going to freak you out.
Hey, just don't mess me up.
Because what we're seeing right now is still the graphics on the little screen here. It still says Conversations with Pastor. So here we are, and we're
Excuse
tight.
me.
We're tight. But
I do not have a face for camera, by the way.
You're fine. You're fine. All right. If you guys want to make comments or interact with us, we're going to take a few moments in a little bit. And we're going to look at them, at the comments. But here's what I want you to do. We're going to do this with everyone that we do Conversations with Pastor. While we're doing this, I want you to post questions that you want to ask Matthew, okay?
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. So, and it can be serious, it can be silly, it can be anything you want to ask Matthew. And before we end tonight, I'm going to scroll up and we'll choose one, and he'll have to answer the question that you put down there. So, I've put together some questions that I wanted to ask Matthew. He knows about some of them he doesn't, and so
This will be fun.
We'll step right in. We'll step right in. All right. So the first one is, Matthew. What is your family? What has your family been doing during the Corona shutdown?
Trying not to kill each other. Yeah. We have been shut in.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
It's just been in the house, trying to keep a routine, to create a coronavirus routine, if you will, a quarantine routine.
Yeah.
Girls doing some schoolwork, us trying to do work, but being shut in is driving us nuts.
Yeah.
Because you can't get away from each other when you're inside that house.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the best thing I can say is we're trying not to drive each other nuts.
Okay. Tell me one time that you got right on edge with the kids. One time.
That had to be my wife. Don't comment, Brittany, if you see this, okay? By the way, I think it had to be last Thursday or Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I was up to that point. I could feel it the point of losing it. And I was like, okay, that's it. Bedtime. You're going to go to bed. I had to literally lay on the couch to try to calm down a little bit after they went to bed.
Yeah.
But it was just that overstimulated,
Mm-hmm.
needing. You don't know. There's no schedule. There's nothing to do. You're trying to have control of the situation, but there is no control.
Yeah.
I mean, your days. The memes and the jokes say it all. I don't even know what day it is.
Yeah. MERS Day or something.
Yes, I have literally. This has happened. I slept what I slept in. I wore all day.
I believe it.
And I got home that night and realized. I told Brittany, I said, wow, these are the clothes I slept in last night. And I've been out in public all day. So you lose track.
Yeah.
And so anyway.
Yeah, we're experiencing the same thing at the house. With the kids being home doing their schoolwork and all. It's been the same experience. And I think most everybody's having that same experience.
Oh, yeah.
One of the questions that I had for you, and I know some of you may be joining, so let me say this. If you want to ask Matthew a question, Conversations with Pastor, if you want to ask Matthew a question, put it in the comments in just a few minutes. We'll scroll down and we'll do it. All right, so the other question was, what's your favorite candy? All right, your favorite candy.
Okay.
Why? And a story about that candy. All right, your favorite candy, why, and a story about the candy.
Wow. I mean, I think my go-to, if it's in the house, would be a Reese's Cup.
Oh, yeah?
Or a Honey Bun, either one.
Okay.
I think Reese's Cup, though. And why? Just because it's good. I mean, that's a quote Joe Dirt, just because.
Yeah.
Just because it's good. I don't think I have a story that revolves around a peanut butter cup.
You don't have like when you were a kid or you were at home or Easter or anything where you remember eating the candy or there's a reason why the peanut butter cup is one of your favorites?
No, I don't actually.
Okay.
I do know the Honey Bun though.
Okay.
Where I used to work, had some guys used to started calling me Honey Bun because I would eat them. So that's a story. Yeah, they would call me Honey Bun. So anyway, that's the only story I got about that one. I don't really have anything. I'm not an interesting person, Shaun.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're an awesome person. Awesome. All right, so the whole point about tonight and you being here was to give a little bit of context in the conversation about what has happened over the last few weeks, right?
Yeah.
So you are the mastermind. You are the one with all of the study and research, and you've put all this together, right? From the camera, the lighting, you've been the guy. I've been your assistant with that, all right? So why don't you walk everybody through what's gone on in you, what's going on in this process. And I'll just let you talk for a few minutes, and I'll ask you some questions about that to push it forward.
Let me grab my notes here.
This is where he and I are different. I just fly by the seat of my pants. Matthew is so much more organized and nerdy.
No, I wouldn't say that. I'm very forgetful.
Oh.
So I literally had to walk back the last 3 weeks and make a timeline and make some notes because everything was a blur. Mm-hmm. And so I think when I really sat down and thought about the whole process, I even told Brittany, my wife, I said, there's really nothing interesting about it. I just felt like it was just a blip. Mm-hmm. But when I really started going through a timeline of what took place, there was some, I won't say dramatic moments, but there was just definitely some highs and lows there. Mm-hmm. And when I look back, looking back, just taking a step back before we actually went online and all this took place, we is the week before spring break, we were scheduled to leave for Disney World Friday the 13th before spring break.
Yeah.
We, like so many others out there, we had trips planned.
Right.
And they shut down Disney World Thursday night.
God.
So we were like, well, at least they did it before we left, trying to find the positive in the situation. And that Friday, when I finished up with my afternoon bus route, talking to one of the drivers, and we had the conversation, he said, it wouldn't surprise me if they shut schools down. And I kind of looked at him like, you're crazy. Yeah. That won't happen.
I remember thinking the same thing.
And 4 hours later, schools were shut down, at least for 3 weeks. So that all happened. And then I think it was that Sunday, actually that Saturday after that, we had a brief elder meeting, just a preliminary discussion about what's taking place. Yeah. And that Sunday we had a service because there was no limitations yet, and we kind of had just a live stream via iPhone. That's all we had. Right. And
was that the Sunday that we had made the announcement to everybody that if you had symptoms or if you're worried about contacting it, to just stay home and watch it live stream? Was that Sunday?
That's right.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
So, and even up to that point, I had started doing some research and live streaming and how to go beyond just the iPhone, how to do it just not a grand process or broadcast, but something a little better. Mm-hmm. And then that Thursday, we had another elder meeting because they have put more restrictions on us. Yep. And we made that decision Thursday evening that, hey, we're going to have to go strictly online that Sunday.
And that was the time too that we real quickly did a video to promote that, or to announce that. And that was the very first time that we had ever attempted to do that.
That's right.
Go ahead.
I forgot about that actually.
Yeah.
And we recorded that.
Yep.
That Thursday.
It was hairy right then. Yes. I mean, it was really stressful because there was a lot going on.
Oh yeah, but we had recorded that video, but the more and more I was trying to work with the live stream part of what we were trying to do, which was just a software called OBS and an iPhone, I was having trouble with the live stream part of it.
Yeah.
And worked late into Thursday evening, into Friday evening. I'm talking about 10 o'clock and later at night. Yeah. Didn't eat supper because forgot about it till like 9 o'clock that evening. Yeah. And I was just buried deep into it trying to find something that was reliable. Right. It wasn't up to that standard of good enough for me to be reliable. Mm-hmm. And so that Saturday, I had to go to Birmingham for a minor procedure. It wasn't anything serious, just getting a mole removed. But that took over half my day, traveling and coming back. Got back home, still trying to work on it, still didn't have it where I wanted to. And so I found this this software, if you will, that would help us, I think, expedite the process, at least make something reliable.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I started finding was you have like three elements for live streaming, and one is capture.
Yeah.
That's a camera. You capture an image. The second one is something that produces or a broadcast for you,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Puts it all together. But the last one is the one we were struggling with, was streaming.
Yep.
And you have to find something that encodes what you want to stream at a quality you want.
Yeah.
The computer I had and the computer we were trying to do wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
And so I found that software that was basically an iPhone and an iPad, and I tried it at my house, did some run-throughs, and it seemed solid.
Yeah.
And buddy, we got to that Sunday,
Oh yeah.
and it didn't go like it did at my house.
Boy, that was a stressful day.
Yes.
Just the awkwardness of no one's here.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first time we do the service with the camera.
Yes.
None of us had done that before, and then we have the issue with the internet connectivity,
Mhm.
right? That was crazy.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that morning when we were leading up to it that morning, and then when we actually did it. What was it like in the booth back there when it went down? When the internet connection went down, we lost the live stream. Just walk us through that morning and that day.
Oh, well, I was, because of what the test runs I was able to do, because I had to back up a little bit on Saturday, because when I got back home, I was trying to fix the kinks in that other way we were trying to do it. I couldn't get it fixed, couldn't get it worked out.
Yeah.
And so it was later that in the evening where I found this other one. I was like, this seems like it could be a viable option for us. And so, like I said, I test ran it, did it at my house. Time after time, I was like, this seems reliable. So I came into church that Sunday thinking, okay, I think I got something here.
Yeah.
I think we got a solid, reliable way to stream.
Mm-hmm.
And we hooked it up, and it seemed like it was doing okay through the rehearsal. And then we get into our service, and you come in at one point, we're like, what's going on? Because Shaun's running around like a chicken with his head cut off. So we're on the praise team. Yeah. We're on the praise team going, what's going on? Well, we finished the set, and you get up there and let everybody know that the stream went down.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we got back there, and me and the guys in the sound booth, Caden and Brad Williams, we were all back there trying to figure out what was going on. And you literally feel like someone with no answers.
Absolutely.
Because you're just, you feel like, the Star Trek terms, give me more power. I'm giving her all she's got, like I have nothing else to give is what you kind of feel like at that point.
Well, I think one of the hero moments for me in all of that was the fact that you're still doing it, and why I think you're such a hero in all of it is that you are so deep in the production side of it, but you also transition to go play the drums. So not only are you behind the scenes, but you're having to play the drums and work all that and do that. So that's a hero moment for me, and I really want to give some mad props to Matthew for that, because he's played and done both sides of it. It's been absolutely incredible, and I just really appreciate it. So it was crazy that day, right? And we swapped back and forth from live stream on the Soma Facebook page to my personal one and all that. You got anything else you want to walk us through on that?
I think Willie, when me and you stepped away that day, I think me and you both were just at the point of stress, and not because we were just mad at each other, mm-hmm. but me and you both wanted to fix the problem.
Absolutely.
And I knew for me at that moment that day, I had been deep in it for 3 days now, staying up late, getting up early. I mean, Brittany would even say, "Look, I'd be at home, be so deep in trying to make this thing work." And she's like, "You haven't got from the computer in 3 hours." Yeah. And so I realized that Sunday, like, there's a big problem here. We've got to step back, but I need to step back, because if I don't, I'm gonna drain myself really quick.
Absolutely.
But it's funny, because I did that Monday. I did some more research and everything, and that Sunday, I got a date here. It's like the 22nd. It was March 22nd. That was that day, and since that day, though, that was a big mountain
Absolutely.
that we climbed and got over. And I think
Absolutely.
since then, we've had minor issues every time that we're fixing, continually improving. But since then, we've come a long way.
Yeah.
That was me and your biggest battle, I think.
Absolutely.
Just getting over that initial, we don't know what we're doing, but we're just doing it.
Yeah.
And making it work. But
And you've done a great job, and you continue to do a great job. I want to know in all of that, right? And you might have another story to express this, but tell us about the God moments. Like when in all of this process, right? Where was God speaking to you? And is there a moment where it was like, okay, wow, that was maybe even a miracle? I mean, that's strong language, but that was really God moving. He did that. And of all of this stress and all of this transition that we did, this moment I'll remember as God moved or God did this. Do you have any of those, one or two of those?
yeah, I would say that the whole thing is.
Yeah.
People watching may know, some and may not know, but I came on staff here last May. I left a job and a career I've been in for 16, 17 years.
Yeah, wow.
And, leading up to that time, it was a step of faith, but I was never nervous or worried about what was taking place. I knew God had the whole situation. So we step into the position last May here at the church and been working and doing things. But up to right before all this hit, maybe a few weeks, a month or so, I kind of had this wall where going, okay, God, like, why am I here?
Yeah.
Like, what's really my purpose for being here?
Yeah.
Not that I wasn't getting things done or doing things, but you kind of start losing that kind of, okay, there's a bigger thing that I'm supposed to be doing here than just accomplishing tasks on a weekly basis.
Right.
And so it wasn't a deep faith testing, questioning, dark moment, but just that started developing in my heart. And so when all this started taking place, things, and for me, in my mind, even though I was deep into it and I was working hard, things were clicking in my mind. And at one point, my wife, and I had the kind of aha moment too, but my wife really pointed out and said, do you not realize that if it weren't for you being here, we may not have been here to this point?
I agree with that.
And I was like, yeah, I started having that feeling of, at least for this time is why you were here.
Absolutely.
Now, that's not saying that taken away from anybody else in our church or anybody that serves week in and week out, praise team and production team. That's taking nothing away from them, but for me personally, I had that feeling of God telling me the whole situation, I've led you to this point for this purpose.
Absolutely.
So.
I fully agree with that. And I've said it to you personally, and I've said it to as many people as I could tell. It would not be, the product and what we have would not be what it is without you. There's just no doubt. And it's not, I don't say that to you to boast you up and promote you. I say that to affirm the gifting and the calling that God has for you in this moment. He's been channeling His will and His purpose and His kingdom through you in this time, and it's been really incredible. I mean, the overlays and the things that we're doing are just really, really beautiful, and I really appreciate it. Is there any other God moments or anything else you want to share about the story?
That's the biggest thing, because I think just for me, I can see that in the past few weeks, because I've had stressful moments, but they have not been elevated to where you're just going stir crazy. I've had peace the whole time through this. And it's really one of those things. I have to give credit to God, because I know, I can easily take credit for knowledge or looking into these things, but it feels like one of those things where He just made it all work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree. And my mind races. My mind races to all of the guys and ladies and students that are doing what Matthew has done for us in this time, and how many millions of people are making the behind the scenes stuff work that I just think it's incredible, and I appreciate you. Matthew's a part of an awesome team. I think you just mentioned it a moment ago, of Caden and Brad and our worship team who are faithful to do this. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for what you're doing. Our leadership team, thank y'all. But thank you to all of the members, everybody. We're still a team working on this, and I know right now in this conversation we're highlighting Matthew and the story of what we've gone on, but this has been a work in progress for all of us. And we just, I think I can speak for Matthew, we really appreciate everybody being a part of this and working it with us. If you have any questions you want to ask Matthew, right? Any question at all. It can be funny, it can be serious. If you have a question you want to ask Matthew, put it in the comments in just a few moments. We're gonna scroll through and we're gonna pick one and I'm gonna ask him. All right. But I gave Matthew an opportunity to talk to his family and ask me a question. So that's going to be part of this Conversations with Pastor. You're kind of seeing what this is going to be like. I'm going to ask questions, and then I'm going to give every person who's sitting here with me an opportunity to ask me a question. So you can ask any question, and I will answer it. So if you're up here with me later on, or we're talking like this later on, think of questions you can ask me. Okay, here we go. So if you got a question for me, you ask it.
I don't have one at the moment.
Okay.
Let me marinate on it
All
a
right,
little
cool.
bit. I'll give you one
Cool.
by the end.
All right, cool. Well, let's look and see what is here as far as questions for Matthew. All right, so I'm going to look through and we'll see. All right, you got to put some questions in here, guys. Oh, let's see. It's Bubba Bonner.
Yep.
Yep.
How you doing, Bubba?
Yeah. All right. All right. Okay. All right, so we got one here from Debbie Collins. Debbie's asking you, at what age did you learn to play the drums? She says, I want to learn. What age?
I didn't start playing drums till I was in 7th grade. And that was just out of pure, that's what my brother did. I didn't really care about drums. I just needed to do something in school. So I started playing drums in 7th grade at Holt High School. Go Ironman.
Yes. Rock on, baby.
So that's when I started learning how to play drums. I didn't develop a love for music, though, until after I graduated high school.
I got you.
And so in high school, I played a marching and concert band, but I didn't start playing drum set until I was 18.
Really?
Around
I
that
didn't know
age.
that.
Around 17, 18 years old.
I didn't realize that. I thought you'd been playing the set drums longer than that.
I didn't start playing until I was senior in high
Really?
school.
When you were in the marching band, did you play a snare, or what did you play, the quints? What did you
I
play?
played bass drum 1 year, and then I played snare for 3 years.
Okay.
So
When you were learning to play the drums, did you take lessons or did you teach yourself?
no, I am self-taught. No,
He's really good too.
I did have training though. I mean, I had being in high school marching. You do get a lot of basic knowledge of rhythms, reading music, those kind of things, and those do apply to drum set. However, you go from just using your hands to using your hands and feet. So
Wow.
it takes a little bit of training to get that independence of all those limbs.
Cool.
So, anyway.
All right, you up for another one if they got another
Sure.
one? Sure. Let's see what they got. All right. Okay. One. This is a good question. Misty Kane wants to know if you can make your mom's chocolate chip cookies.
Yes.
You know I like your mom's chocolate chip cookies.
Ask my wife and daughters. I have been making them recently for the past few weeks.
Really?
A lot, yeah.
Awesome. All right, well, cool. Well, you have to bring us a batch.
They're chewy, you know, they're just borderline being almost gooey, but they're really good.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Let's see. All right, Trey Chester wants to know how the golf game is.
Oh. A work in progress.
Yeah, really?
I feel like I have improved, and then the next hole I realize I haven't.
Yeah, that's right. This is feast or famine if you're like me.
That's exactly right.
Cool. All right, so there's the questions that we have. Now, I've got one more for you.
Okay.
All right, and this is going to be a fun one. All right, this is going to be the $1 million question.
Okay.
Okay. Would you, for $1 million, would you while your girls were sleeping at night, shave their heads?
Definitely. That's an easy question. What are you talking about? Hair grows back.
Okay. All right. Next step. Okay. For $1 million, would you shave Brittany's hair while she's sleeping?
Yes, but I would do that after tying her down because she would wake up swinging.
Would Brittany want? Wait, let's see. If you shaved Brittany's head for $1 million, and then she got up in the morning and saw it, what would her reaction be before she knows the $1 million?
I would have to hide any weapons, guns or knives in the house would be hidden before she woke up.
Yeah.
Because she would try to kill me probably.
Would she forgive you if she knew you did it for $1 million?
Yes, she would forgive me. Now she'd probably make me spend part of the $1 million buying a wig, so she'd get out in public. But yes, I think she'd be okay with it.
Cool. For $1 million, would you? All right, cool. Oh, we got another one from Martha Pate. How do you find new worship songs for the team? Good question, Martha. Good question.
I listen to Spotify a lot, and just try to find songs and just really through listening. And I have to give credit. My wife loves worship songs too. And I'm surrounded by people who love worship, so I can't take credit for everything. But a lot of influence from you and some of the team. But my wife too. She'll introduce songs, and me and her both have always been people who try to look off the beaten path for music. So we'll listen to the mainstream contemporary, then we'll try to find a worship group nobody's ever heard of. I just love worship music, so I'm always listening and looking for worship music.
Okay, cool.
So,
good deal. Yes, I would. Brittany has commented on the $1 million question.
Yes, I love you, babe.
All right. So this is Conversations with Pastor. It started off with Matthew because I think he had a really cool story to tell. And tomorrow, actually, we're going to do another one. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. It's going to be tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. We're going to do Conversations with Pastor, and I'm going to have a conversation with my beautiful bride, Sherelle. So she'll be having a conversation with me, Facebook Live, 1 p.m. Be very similar to what we did tonight. Hope you would you join in with us and do. Debbie also wants to know: do you ever play dress up with the girls?
No.
Matthew.
No, I don't. Well, they're older now. It'd be awkward.
Oh. All right.
When they were younger, we never really played dress up when they were younger. However, being a dad of daughters, and there's other people like this. I've painted toenails. I've done hair.
That's awesome.
Helped make a tutu. I actually sat in the floor one time. I think it was before a birthday party, and I had painted nails that evening, toenails and fingernails, and was making a tutu. And I looked at my wife and said, "I am turning my man card in tonight because I have not done one manly thing today."
It sounds like a good reason to turn it in, though.
Yeah, it does.
It's awesome.
No, I have never played dress up. Now we've done dances and done princess type things, but never have. At least I don't think so.
Yeah.
There could have been that one night. But there's other things involved with that.
You're so silly. All right, Karen wants to know: how did you and Brittany meet, and how long have you been married? Good question, Karen.
Karen, good question. Let me do the math here for a second. It would be 15 years in September we have been married. We actually met at church. The church you were youth pastoring, and I had been going there since I was a kid, and Brittany had just began attending, and of course I was trying to be a mature Christian guy. I was trying to give her some space, because there's something about
you were scared.
Yeah. You're probably right about that. No, I was trying to be mature, because, for some reason a new female comes into a church and the males go crazy for some reason.
Yeah,
I don't
sure,
know why.
Of course. Fresh meat.
But we met at church, and over a few months, I was more and more interested. But I will say this: the only reason we started dating, I think, was because of her.
Yeah.
Because I was kind of interested, trying to feel my way around. That's a bad term right there. I was trying to gain intelligence of whether or not she liked me. And I come back with the word from her: if you like me, ask me out. I don't want to play games.
Oh, wow.
So give my wife credit for us starting today because she put the ultimatum down. I called her the next day and asked her out.
Nice. Nice.
So.
All right. I've got I remember when Brittany started coming to church with us, and the thing that I remember, she's going to kill me for saying this, was I think it was the fall where you fall back, right? Yes, you fall back.
Yes.
Time falls back, right? So she was early for church or Sunday school or something.
Yes.
And she had forgotten it was a time change. And I remember that morning. I remember her pulling up in the parking lot and getting out of her car. I was out there for something. I don't remember what it was. And her walking in, I remember thinking, she's about to have a rude awakening.
Yes. Yeah, she never came to Sunday school, not because she wasn't a good Christian, but
Right.
she just had become accustomed because she was in college and started coming to church. She just was new, so she would come just to the service.
Mm-hmm.
We had Sunday school, then we had service. And yeah, she forgot to move her clock back, so she was there before Sunday school even started.
Now she's at church way before anybody else and stays later than everybody
That's
else.
right.
All right. Cool. Matt is a rock star, Jay. You were right. And Brittany said this. He is the best girl daddy. Yes, you are.
Thank you.
Yes, you are, girl daddy.
Love you, babe.
I think she also said you're the best baby daddy.
Hey, I'll take it any way I can get it.
It's so bad. All right. We love you. We're having fun. Now, Conversations with Pastor, that's what this is. What we're going to do is we're going to put this on the YouTube channel, and it's going to be in that category of Conversations with Pastor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can go back and review it, see it later.
Yes.
We're going to do this a couple times a week. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock, we're going to do another Conversations with Pastor with my beautiful bride, with Sherelle. So we'll talk a little bit about us and stuff, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. Next week, I've got a couple of people in mind, and I've already talked to one of them, and I'm really excited. It's going to be fun. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag of who it is, but got some questions and fun times. So it'll be good. Conversations with Pastor. That's what this has been. Matthew, thank you for taking some time and doing this with me tonight. We love you, man.
Love you too.
We appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you.
Now,
Appreciate you.
Now the awkward thing about this is to end it, Matthew's got to go back around.
Yes.
He's got to go back around to turn it off in the booth.
Pastor will awkwardly stare at you while I walk up there.
That's right. And from here on, Matthew will be here when we do these, and we got a camera set up for Matthew and a sound booth. So he and I both will be doing this. It'll be conversations with me and Matthew, pastors, me and Matthew, and we'll have a good time. So if you can, give us some feedback. Just hit the buttons at the bottom. Let us know you liked it or you enjoyed it. Let us know if it's good. We'll do it again. Oh, we got some more comments before you go, Matthew.
Oh, wow.
All right. Yes. Sherry says you were awesome. Yep, it's true.
Ken. Ken Worley says that the 15-year mark is the Crystal anniversary. Will I take her to Crystal's? If they're still open after the quarantine.
Yep, it's good. Very, very good. Very good. All right, man. Thank you. Thank you for doing this. I love you.
Love you too.
We're not quarantining. We've been with each other this whole time. So if he's got it, I got it. If I got it, he's got it. We've been closer. Sometimes I feel like I've been closer to you than I have my own wife. So,
Easy.
No, I don't mean it that way.
Speaking of, would you shave Sherelle's head for $1 million?
Absolutely.
You wouldn't think about it, would you?
There is no question. I mean, just like that.
I was going to say, for $1 million, it'd be easy.
Yep, and quite frankly, I think she'd be all right with it. Matter of fact, if somebody would just put up the $1 million, I'll do it tonight.
There you go. I think my wife would be fine about it.
She would.
But I have to tell her before I did it. See, it's that that shock effect. She don't know why you did it.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know.
I would do it. No problem at all. No problem. Really, really simple and easy. All right, guys. Well, we thank you. Hope you enjoyed it.
Love y'all.
Love you all very, very much.